Mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. A lone light flickers beneath the barren plateau. Shadows shift across the rugged face of Blind Frog Ranch, where secrets stir in silent caverns, and the promise of gold radiates beneath layers of rock and silence. The night wind whispers through the scrub, dry sage rattling like ghostly fingers tracing the bones of history. A father and son, a pair cloaked in grit and hope, dig deeper into the heart of the earth. Their boots sink into dust laden with stories of an empire fallen in flames and dusted over by time. Caverns open like yawning mouths of memory. Sticky smoke vents hiss in half-buried passages. Underwater tunnels beckon, silent, dark, unknown. Tracks along the fault line splinter into whispers of oath, of blood, of gold hidden under centuries of stone. The fourth season slides into view as autumn surrenders to winter. Each midweek evening, a new revelation flickers onto screens nationwide. The hunt, relentless, resumes. The first excavation yields the cavern's edge, a narrow fissure that trembles when prodded, a trapdoor to what lies beneath. Beads carved in ceremonial symmetry rise from dove earth, coated with the dust of centuries. Echoes of ritual linger at the bead site, the air humming with the memory of offerings made long ago by hands that no longer live but whose intention persists. A settler's mind yawns open, ancient and desolate. Footsteps echo on dusty timbers. The script of danger is written on every creaking board. A skull, half buried in rubble, tilts upward. A reminder that every dig is a gamble when history collides with geology. Smoke vents exhale sulfur-laced murmurs from beneath the surface as drills pierce deeper. A shudder in the earth, an omen unfelt yet acknowledged. Surface meets cavern in tremors that slip through gloves and rattles one's breath. As winter's chill meets flame, artifacts glint in tagged frames. A carved tablet shaped like a keyhole promises passage into legend. A stone aqueduct, hidden deep, suggests a civilization's hand reaches out from the past. Somewhere downstream, water courses through ancient channels, moving toward chambers no map has named beneath lake glass, darkness waits. The plunge underwater is sudden, vertiginous. The world contracts to filtered light and the sonar pulse of distraction. Legends swirl amid sediment. Divers probe haze and find crypts, silent, still. Every kick of fin unsettles history. Silt rises, obscuring what lies beneath. Then a glimmer, a chisel mark, an artifact's edge, something real, something that trembles between myth and fact. The screen goes dark, and the audience waits. Will the fissures crack open finally? Will Aztec gold spill into daylight? Or will the land guard its secrets forever, closing ranks as the lights dim what the world around the search reveals? The fourth season aired with calculated persistence. It premiered November 20, 2024, unfurling 8 episodes set against the shifting desert and subterranean echoes of Utah's Uinta Basin. These chapters carry titles like Death Rumble, The Curse of the Aztecs, Death Trap, The Skull, Sacrificial Altar, Disaster at the Bead Site, The Aztec Aqueduct, and Underwater Kingdom, each hinting at another layer peeled back from the Earth's skin. Since then, the hunt marched onward into a 5th season. Season 5 premiered June 18, 2025, offering new clues and elevated stakes: radioactive uranium, underwater tunnels, government surveillance, and whispers of the lost tomb of Montezuma buried beneath the ranch. Behind the hunt, the skeptic's voice. Whispers Online frame the hunt not only as epic, but occasionally as artifice. A Reddit viewer remarked, as each episode and season of Blind Frog airs, I become more and more convinced that it's not just scripted and staged, but but actually fabricated and fiction. Reddy and others viewed the cave-in sequences skeptically, yet these skeptics are often those who, whether in humor or frustration, keep returning, tethered by the mystery, the visuals, the sheer possibility. So, is there going to be a fourth season? The fourth season has already come and gone. It exists, etched in the record of episodes, each unraveling a slim strand of legend clasped in dust and breath. The real question, perhaps, is not if there was a fourth season. There unquestionably was, but what lies ahead next? The fifth season stepped into view in mid-2025. As for beyond that, the desert keeps its counsel. No official word yet on renewal for a sixth. The land stays silent. Watchers wait with bated breath for the next tremor, the next opening of stone. The answer echoes like a stone dropped into the dry wells of Utah. Clean, heavy, final. No fourth season. No more buried promises or staged tension. No more flashlights panning across damp cave walls. No more breathless pauses before cutting to commercial. The story, as the world once knew it, is over. But not with a bang. The ranch itself doesn't mourn the decision. The rocks continue and silence. The frogs, if they ever truly existed, stay unseen. The fault lines rest beneath the surface, ancient and indifferent. This land has seen centuries without a camera. It will survive a few more. What began as a whispered legend on a cable network became, briefly, a cultural tremor. The first season was a promise. The second, a deepening. The third, a struggle to maintain the illusion. And then, nothing. Not a trailer. Not a poster. Not even a rumor from the production crew. Only the viewers, still staring at a screen that no longer speaks. There is no fourth season of mystery at Blind Frog Ranch. And it's not coming. At first, no one wanted to believe it. Season 3 ended not with closure, but with the same foggy drama it had always offered. Strange readings underground, ancient artifacts that led nowhere, equipment malfunctioning without explanation. The air was thick with what-ifs and next-time promises. The final frame hinted at something big just around the bend. Another cavern, another symbol, another secret. But that next time never came. The network offered no official cancellation, no press release, no kind farewell. Instead, the story dissolved quietly. The Instagram page stopped updating. The Discovery Plus listing quietly fell to the bottom of suggested titles. The forums turned from speculation to resignation, and in the places where excitement once thrived, there was only absence. No new season. No behind-the-scenes updates. No interviews with the cast. Just a long silence stretching between the rocks and the broadband. Some say it ended because they found what they were looking for. Others say it ended because they didn't. Neither explanation really matters. What matters is the show is done. And in its absence, something else takes root. The ranch is a different place without the crew. Where once there were lights and sound booms and production bands, now there is only quiet. The ground is hard again. The trails once worn by boots and ATVs are slowly taken back by nature. Cables that once fed into monitoring systems have vanished. All that remains are the questions, never answered, never resolved. The myths persist. They always do. The gold, the tunnels, the government interest, the electromagnetic anomalies. These don't disappear just because the cameras do. In fact, without the burden of being televised, they become more seductive. Without the stage dramatics, the mystery becomes purer, less spectacle, more folklore. In this way, Blind Frog Ranch returns to what it once was, a place where imagination runs feral, where every hollow in the ground is a possible portal, and where silence is not an absence but a riddle. the show never offered true evidence. Not really. Just enough to stir the embers of curiosity. Enough to make people argue online. Enough to create 3 seasons of might-be's and maybes. But not enough to support a 4th. At some point, even the most devoted viewers grow tired of Shadows. Ratings dipped. Investors became wary. Storylines grew thin. Crews, once excited by the frontier spirit, grew bored. The metal detectors found fewer things worth cutting around. The tunnels, so perilous, so dramatic, stopped giving up their secrets. The production had drained the land of its narrative. And then, it ended no fanfare. No funnel. Just an invisible decision behind an office door somewhere, clicked into existence by an executive tired of hoping the next episode would be the one that finally proved something. There's no conspiracy. No cover-up. Just fatigue. Budget cuts. A calendar that no longer makes room for something that used to matter. But the void the show leaves is its own kind of presence. Viewers, even now, return to old episodes. They zoom in on footage, analyze screen captures, chart tunnel systems, and sync up timestamps from episodes to suggest deeper plots. In the absence of resolution, there is always room for theory. Some say the show was pulled because it got too close to something real. Others think it was a smokescreen all along, a well-dressed fiction pretending to flirt with truth. Without season 4, there is no contradiction. Nothing disproves the wildest beliefs. No follow-up means no refutation. Every possibility still lives, and in that strange way, cancellation becomes the final gift to the legend. The myth doesn't die, it's set free. Traveler driving past the gates of the ranch today would see nothing remarkable. A dusty fence, a closed gate, a weathered sign. But those who've watched the series see more. They see the old excavation pit where something glinted for a moment on camera. They imagine the collapsed tunnel, sealed for safety. They picture the boat used to scan the lake. They remember the helicopter that wasn't supposed to be there. They remember the skull-shaped stone no one ever explained.